Hi everyone, it's Princess Emeka-Obiajunwa and this is day 53. Yesterday we looked at what the prophecy about the coming disaster for Jerusalem and Judah, and today in Isaiah chapter 40 we're seeing that God is sending words of hope to them. They've experienced that because they didn't behave well, they didn't do what they were supposed to do when the prophecy came, and of course there was that disobedience that switched on that season of pain and captivity in Babylon. Right here in the book of Isaiah chapter 40, we're seeing God sending a message. In verse 1, God says, Comfort my people, says your God. Encourage the people of Jerusalem. Tell them they've suffered long enough and their sins are now forgiven. I have punished them in full for all their sins. A voice cries out, prepare in the wilderness a road for the Lord. Clear the way in the desert for our God. Fill every valley, level every mountain. The hills will become a plain and the rough country will be made smooth. Then the glory of the Lord will be revealed and all people will see it. The Lord himself has promised this. The glory of God never comes upon an unprepared people. God does not waste encounters. He doesn't waste encounters. He has forgiven them. He's ready to bless them, but he says prepare. What does he ask them to do? To fill up the valley and to level every mountain. It is not God who will fill up your valley. We're not talking about valley from the place of a need now. Valley in the sense can be a position you are in your life where you feel that you do not have enough to measure up. It's not God that will fill it up. You have to fill it up first. When the glory comes, the glory hides all of the faults because the help of God comes into the situation. To fill up your valley and to level up the mountain, which is your mental stronghold that I can't do this, and the reasons you have around it, which are the valleys telling you that you can't emerge and you can't do these things. They are the valleys and the mountains even though yes, this is not like a literal situation in Jerusalem, it's a physical situation, but I'm speaking from interpretation right now, from what I believe God wants us to have right here. The filling up of the valley and leveling up the mountain is not the Lord's work, it's your work. And do you know how you do that? You do that by trusting. In the book of Isaiah, this same Isaiah 40, in the last verses, where the popular one from verse 28, it says, don't you know, haven't you heard? The Lord is everlasting God. He created all the world. He never grows tired or weary. No one understands his thoughts. Then 29 hits the note. He says, he strengthens those who are weak and tired. Verse 30, even those who are young grow weak. Young people can fall exhausted. Verse 31, but those who trust in the Lord for help will find their strength renewed. To fill up your valley and level up your mountain is not God's work. It is your job because God cannot help you trust him. You have to choose to trust and then the help to trust can now flow. And that's where we talk about the glory coming on to right as he promised them right there in the first verse we saw in verse 5. It says, then, look at this, fill every valley, fill every mountain, the hills will become a plain after you've done this, and the rough country will be made smooth. Then the glory of the Lord will be revealed and all the people will see it. The Lord himself has promised this. Look at your life and look at those areas of inadequacy. Those are your valleys. And look at those areas that are big, huge challenges. You bring them down. You fill up the valleys and you bring down your mountain by trusting the Lord. It's when you have released trust that God comes in the capacity of who he is as the one that cannot be compared, as we have seen in Isaiah 40. Isaiah also took time to expand on who God is, what God can do, how God operates. And he says there's none that can be compared to our God. Trust is the secret for you to experience the glory of God. Come on now. If you can't trust the Lord, you can't see his glory. God can't come down to ride upon an unprepared situation. If you want the glory of God in your life this year, what you have to do about that situation is to trust. Don't lean on your own understanding again. The book of Isaiah is a book of hope, and it starts by saying comfort, which means God is interested in giving you what you need. God is interested in fixing the situation. God is interested. You're crying and you're weeping and say, God, when am I going to have a child? When am I going to get a job? When am I going to, excel in my business? When am I going to excel in my academics? You're praying about all of those things, and they're important. God is interested in fixing them for you. But you're going to have to understand that you must first prepare the floor for the landing of the glory, and that preparation is to trust the Lord. Set your face in a determined way, like that. To that circumstance. Fill up your valley, darling. Level up your mountain, for the glory is about to come, and God is coming with such a great comfort that you will tell the testimony for many, many years to come. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.